You may be thinking, how did I end up here? Well, you see, it's my own fault. I spent the past 2 years building a martial artist army in Kenshi, only to rush into an attack on one of the biggest factions in the game, the United Cities. I thought I saw an advantage, and I took it. I entered the United Cities HQ, sprang our attack, only for us to be ambushed and surrounded by ninjas, and then every member of the squad went down. To make matters worse, the United Cities sent an army to attack our base in Guts, a particularly dangerous biome you might remember from the previous videos. They quickly surrounded the very small garrison I had left to watch over the settlement. They began ruthlessly slaughtering the workers, the blue-collar residents of our nation. Some managed to hide, but most weren't that lucky. Now everybody's caught up on the events of the last video. We now need to begin the long, arduous process of trying to heal all of the men and move them somewhere safe. But unfortunately, we lost a few from blood loss and severe injuries. And to be honest, I think it's on me, guys. I was getting some super dope footage, and it's Kenshi, so it's fine. And with most of the gang back together, I needed to get them safely back home. We began the long march back. I needed to get them somewhere safe so we could heal at least a few of our men. As you well know, we are in fact a few limbs down after the last video's tragic end. But it's not the end of the world. It's actually an upgrade, alright? Like Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, only wee little accidents. You know what I'm saying? It's a good way to look at limb loss, that's all I'm saying. But right now, we've only got a limited supply of robotic limbs and very specific specifications. Our current needs are 4 legs, 2 arms, and 3 right legs. And we have 2 right legs in our pack animal right now. I set up a recruitment squad and gave them all cool new hats because I wanted a team specifically made to kidnap people and bring them to us. I mean, the public relations team, recruitment team, shall we call them? Yeah, recruitment, individual acquisitions, maybe people finder. No? People taker? No, that's quite aggressive, isn't it? Yeah. I'm trying to lure these people in, we want them to feel safe. Recruitment sounds good. I sent the recruitment team on many missions to do many terrible things. Firstly, we went to the skeletons and stole a bunch of robotic limbs, because obviously we keep losing limbs and we're going to need more. We're going to need them. It's just a fact. And whilst the squad was heading back to base, I decided to stop at a way station in the grey desert. I noticed there was ninja guards, and I decided to chance recruiting them. I sent fear into the way station under the cover of darkness, chloroform soak rag in hand. Unfortunately, it was mostly a failure, but we did manage to grab one guy before we were caught and had to make our escape. We then sent the men over to the Sanity Tower to recruit more farmers, workers, blue-collar residents. As you well know, they all died. Well, not all of them, just quite a lot of them. The majority, I'd say. After some time had passed, I then sent a small team of warriors to scout the map. I selected the best men available. I wanted to see what had happened to the Holy Nation territory after I had removed them from power. The Sheikh had moved in from the south, and the United Cities from the west and north, but the ex-capital of the Holy Nation had been taken by a familiar faction. The Flotsome Ninjas, an organisation set up to free slaves and fight the oppression of the Holy Nation, but they made excellent recruits the last time we fought them, so their noble motivations don't concern me greatly, I'll be honest. Because the Flotsome Ninjas are such great warriors, it means that I needed a few days to gather my forces. But after a few days, we were ready. I moved all the warriors into one squad. The A team. We set off on our long march, taking the exact same route as the smaller scouting party, knowing that the main route through Okran's shield was under United Cities control. We arrived outside the gates. We first made our way inside, and then up onto the wall to take out the crossbows and harpoons, because our lack of armour made us very squishy targets. But once they were dealt with, I then kind of just set the boys loose, let them slaughter at will. Not really slaughter though, you know, it's kind of just beating them up real bad, you know. But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the Flotsome Ninjas didn't put up a good fight. After all, there's a reason we're here to recruit them. After most, if not all, of the Flotsome Ninjas had been incapacitated or, you know, brutally murdered with fists of fury. No, brutal violence. Anyway, can it be brutal violence if they don't use weapons? Yeah, probably. After all the Flotsome Ninjas had been incapacitated, we then proceeded to pick them all up in our strong arms and scurry them away. We took them all. We kidnapped like so many people. During the time of recruiting the Flotsome Ninjas, we endured many attacks, entertained them even because we just absolutely smoked all of them because of all the men we had, and we were getting more every day because of the Flotsome Ninjas in the cages, and they're not in the cages in our uniforms. During one of the many attacks that we entertained, a group of anti-slavers, gone out of their daily business of freeing slaves, okay, because we're not in that business, obviously, broke into my fortress, peaceful fortress though, because we're like basically like monks, martial arts and that, basically monks. You know, we're the victims anyway. Yeah, they broke in and they tried to free some of our new potential recruits. Go on, Jim. Fuck him up. He's freeing prisoners, Jim. Kill him. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Damn, Jim. Fuck him up, Jim. Jim. And after we beat them up, I was thinking, why not try and recruit them? And it turns out they have the same script as those ninjas, so we can recruit them instantly. And turns out, geez, they're ready-made martial artist warriors.
Spectacular. Give me 14 of them right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what's in here?
I don't care. Don't tell me.
But before we can go and get more anti-slavers, let's test out these new Flotsome Ninjas, see what they're worth, eh? And I had a very specific target in mind. We assaulted Hang, a United Cities city, but it also doubled as the HQ for the Traders Guild. The city was separated by a bridge between the United Cities section and the Traders Guild section. The thing is, this provided an opportunity to keep the attacks separated. We could attack one side of the city, while the other city remained unaware of the assault that was in progress. It's getting pretty brutal. We're winning quite drastically on the outside though. We're currently entering the city, and I think things are going well, and it worked perfectly. The Traders Guild side was unaware of the attack. We managed to slaughter the entirety of the United Cities side and heal up before we even thought about crossing the bridge. But once we were ready, we made our way over the bridge and began our secondary assault. Unaware to the enemy, we'd already defeated half of them, so we actually just ran through them very cleanly. This shit is too easy. Look at this fucking shit. We're absolutely slaughtering these guys. What slaughtering? We're beating them up very severely. Now, it was time to go and collect some more anti-slavers. Their skill in battle had shown me that we really needed them specifically. So we went to go find them. And I've played Kenshi for a long time, and I have in fact been to their base, not in this playthrough, but in other ones. And I know the general area. I know that it's in a mountain range. So I sent the boys to where I thought the base was located. It did actually take me a while to find the anti-slavers base, because I was in fact searching the wrong mountain range. But once we did find it, it was time for our warriors to show their martial artist prowess. But unfortunately, it doesn't matter how good your men are if the leader / me has a terrible strategy. Unfortunately, I don't know what was going on with me this day. I think I could have been tired. I'm not going to make excuses, boys, but I made a very big lapse in judgment. I sent all of the men straight into the main building where we were surrounded by a bunch of warriors that were actually better than most of my guys. Yeah, so I did the exact same thing as the last video, but slightly different this time because, never mind, it's exactly the same. But we rushed into a situation where we were surrounded, outnumbered, and lost a bunch of guys and a bunch of limbs. Everyone went down, at least once. Many of our people died. Due to some of our guys' high toughness, we managed to retreat with a small group. Not all of the group managed to escape unseen. Oh, shit. Infinite Wing One's missing an arm now also. Jesus Christ. I took them back to the nearest friendly settlement, which in this case was Flats Lagoon. Whilst the group was making their way there, I did my best to keep as many of our men alive as I could. I put everyone on sneak and was trying to systematically heal all of our men. I then managed to get another group out and sent them to Flats Lagoon too. But unfortunately, because of all this fucking micromanagement, I missed something. Okay, turns out it was an attack on our home base by the United Cities. Yet again, as soon as we left, they sent a whole army. This time I was a little bit smarter with it. I just closed the gate and removed a wall in the backside and then just started the evacuation. Got everyone out there. I managed to get all the workers out, all the warriors that didn't already die in that initial combat. But then, again, I made another lapse in judgment. Not judgment, but we just forgot about something. I forgot to turn off jobs. Some of our men decided it would be a good idea to just carry on with their daily routine. Just get on with their jobs, which is all good if we weren't currently under siege. So they ran back in, They went down, and some of our other guys then ran back in to try and save them. So that's nice, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's not. We lost people. So now we've got a bunch of guys down in the base, surrounded by samurai. Oh, what's this? A notification for a slave raid that's on the way. Oh, great. Ideal. Not like I wasn't already majorly fucked. Let's get back to the biggest challenge we face right now. We still have a lot of guys down in recovery comas in the anti-slavers base, but we do have a few that are in Flats Lagoon, and they've been in beds healing all this time. So I grouped them up real quick and sent them back as a rescue squad. And as the rescue squad arrived, some of the people came out of recovery comas, which is nice. A little bit of good timing for once, eh? We got everyone out of there. We headed back to base. Unfortunately, all the members that were enslaved were now scattered around the desert because some of them had just started fighting back against the slavers. Once the main army had arrived back at home, we needed to secure it before we attempted to free anyone. The fight wasn't that bad because I think some of the samurai had left, but some of them lingered, so we had to clear them out before we could do anything. Once we'd removed the enemy from fisthold, it was time to free the enslaved. Some of the enslaved men were inside of eye socket in cages, and some were unconscious around the base in the desert.
Oh my god, he shot her right leg off and now she's fucking dying. Oh my god, she's gonna die. She's fucking died. Oh, these motherfuckers. Oh, unacceptable, unacceptable, completely unacceptable.
I sent the whole army there. We assaulted the outpost and then freed all of our men. I knew we had to return to the anti-slavers base, but to be honest, this event had severely altered my confidence in the army. Regardless, we healed up our men and we headed to the anti-slavers base, where we would once again test our prowess.
It's time for some sweet, sweet revenge, I think.
We began our assault under stealth. We took out a few anti-slavers before the alarm was raised, and I saw what we were up against.
Look at Soto dropping shit down. Laying, oh my god, he is an absolute beast. I can't wait until we get our hands on them. Oh no, we're killing tech. Oh shit, we've accidentally killed a bunch of tech hunters. Whoops. Whoops-a-daisy.
Bro, get out of there, yo. Get out of there. Retreat. 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 They're too powerful. They're too powerful. Get out of here. Everybody, go. The alarm's been raised. It's time to go. It's time to leave. We're leaving. We're leaving. We're running away. Run away. Run away. Run away. I then decided to withdraw my forces, instead of letting my men be slaughtered for a second time. Technically third, I suppose. This could be seen as a case of cowardice, but I prefer to think of it as a tactical retreat, as I'd had an idea, which was slowly forming into a full-blown plan. Obviously, we aren't strong enough to take on the anti-slavers on their home turf, but we are stealthy enough to sneak in under the cover of darkness and kidnap people whilst their guard is down. And with that plan in mind, I created a new squad, which is actually just a rebrand of the already existing Recruitment squad, rebranded into the Stalkers, because they stalk people. Okay, the kidnappers. Okay, this method was vastly more effective. We managed to knock out and take some of the anti-slavers under the cover of darkness. We then scurried them away back to base. The journey was a rough one, not because of bandits or enemies of any kind actually, because of this area of the map here. Now, I'm not a scientist, but there are what I would call beams of dangerously hot light that rain down from the sky randomly all around this area. Now, most of the time, it's just a few cuts and burns, but sometimes it melts the faces off of my men, which was the case here. I don't remember specifically where this Shek came from. I would imagine he was a ninja or an anti-slaver in his past life. But what I do know is that Terran was a sick warrior. The guy could throw hands, for real. And he got murdered by the sun. But even with the dangerous environment we had to traverse, I knew our best chance of expanding our army quickly was the anti-slavers. They were going to be the source of our power, each time carefully sneaking in and kidnapping as many as we could, before we were inevitably spotted and the alarm was raised, at which point we would make our escape. On one of these night manoeuvres, we actually managed to kidnap Tin Fist, the leader of the anti-slavers. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a way to recruit this guy, so he's just going to sit in the cage indefinitely. And whilst Tin Fist stews in his cell, we were preparing to receive another United Cities attack. But their forces arrived. There was too many of them for our current forces to handle, or at least I just decided not to fight them. I proceeded to remove a wall in the back of the fortress.
Like so. Holy shit, there was big things hiding in the walls. What the fuck has gone on there? Right, kill these big things, please.
And then evacuate the men. The enemy soon broke in. They ran around for a while, and I'm pretty sure they released Tin Fist because he was there before they came, and after they left, he wasn't there anymore. Bottom line, we need more men. So I sent the stalkers on many more missions to kidnap more and more anti-slavers, and even assaulted Flats Lagoon by mistake. Realistically, we actually didn't mean to assault it. We're hostile with them now, so I can't purchase any robotics from them, but what I can do is steal them, or at least try. Boom, thunk. Thunk. The assault ended with us kidnapping a bunch of ninjas and stealing robotics and knowledge. We needed more ancient science books so we can improve the efficiency of our workers. Speaking of efficiency, we found some drug smugglers and we proceeded to brutally beat them and steal their bags, as it would allow our workers to carry more items, making any worker with a backpack more efficient. Now it's been 50 days since I discovered the tasty resource that is the anti-slaver recruits. We've managed to double our numbers and they just keep growing. We've now reached 100 men. I was biding my time, waiting for us to grow stronger. Now it's time to play aggressively. At the end of the last video, we were crushed by the United Cities forces at the capital, Heft, and I think it's time for us to redeem ourselves. A head-on assault would almost definitely end with defeat, but I've got one word for you: subterfuge. You might be asking, absurd, what's subterfuge? Well, sweet child, I'm glad you asked. The dictionary defines subterfuge as deceit used in order to achieve one's goal. Now here's the plan. We enter Heft under the cover of darkness, hopefully unnoticed, kidnap the Emperor, and then return to base and wait for all this to blow over. And whilst our forces were en route, I realised the courtyard, the airlock at the front of our base, had become littered with the shoes of our dead enemies. And you know what else it's littered with? Alive enemies. And every time they wake up, we beat them up again, until slowly but surely they die. We arrived outside of Heft a little early, 10 AM to be precise, so entering under the cover of darkness wasn't really an option, because I didn't want to wait. I moved all of the men inside the city, and then into our old house, and I was going to wait from here. But then I thought, if they couldn't see 100 men, Naruto running through the streets, in bright yellow pants, then a smaller group, with at least 70 stealth, could definitely sneak into the throne room. We approached the Emperor, and went for the knockout.
Lecco. It's on you. It's all on you, Lecco. It's all on you, Lecco. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. Boom. He's on the floor. He's dropped. Pick that bad boy up. Skedaddle out of there, boys. We're on our way out. Come on, lads.
I had our men ready to intercept the pursuing guards, but Lecco was fast enough to escape without being touched, so I decided to take all of the army and retreat them outside. We linked up the squads and then just began our journey home. Now, I hoped that United Cities would just crumble as the Holy Nation did when I removed their leader, the Holy Lord Phoenix. We now were in the waiting till it blows over portion of the plan. It was going swimmingly, as smooth could be. No hiccups, no bumps. Just failed raids on our fortress and the occasional horde of beak things at our gates. That was until I noticed an anti-slaver hanging around the base. Up to their old tricks again, I presumed. So I put him down, and then I put him in a cage. But as you are fully aware, or at least should be by now, where there's one anti-slaver, there's a gaggle of anti-slavers. I prepared a defense against their underhanded tactics, something that I most definitely would never do. I actually kidnapped loads of them, but it's fine. I actually do it a lot. I captured several more of the anti-slavers and then assumed that I'd got them all. Turns out I didn't. One of the bastards had bided his time, snuck into the prisoner tower, and then released all of the prisoners. One of those being Emperor Tengu. Now, I didn't actually witness the escape. I only witnessed the aftermath, where we put down all the anti-slavers and put them back in cages. I don't know when this happened, I don't know how long Tengu had to run. I knew I needed to find him, so I mounted a search party in an effort to recapture the Emperor. Unfortunately, I was unable to find him. I thought he would go back to Heft. Surely the Emperor would run home. He didn't, so yeah, we lost/misplaced the Emperor, at least for the time being. To be fair, he could actually be dead in the desert somewhere, but it's good that we returned to Heft, because it provided us with some vital information. The United Cities, unlike the Holy Nation, doesn't crumble after you kidnap their figurehead, or at least hasn't yet. They seem to have actually just placed an elite samurai on the throne. So, at the end of the day, the moral of the story is, don't try, because you can't win anyway. Kidding. The moral of this video is, the most efficient way to build an army is through forced conscription. Come on. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.